What exactly is your client's interest in this case?
Okay, so my name is Sherita. I'm an attorney with the Legal Resources Center, and we act on behalf of the Commission for Gender Equality because we believe that the minister violated a very significant mandate that the Commission holds to advance and protect the rights of women. And women who face violence and assault in our country are a particularly vulnerable group. And we believe that granting immunity for such an offense is something that is not consistent with the state's mandate to women, and in particular the right to protect them and to obtain redress on their behalf when assaults of this nature are carried out. And it amounted to weighing the interests of a particularly vulnerable group, which the state has a duty to protect in terms of Section 72 of the Constitution, in favor of political expediency. And we believe that that damages the work that institutions such as the Commission for Gender Equality are working very hard to advance and protect. And it needed the court to actually decide whether conduct of that nature does serve the interests of the Republic.
And then interestingly enough, another submission that was made yesterday, they mentioned that international law is in some circumstances cited when our domestic law is silent. Also mentioning, or one of your reps mentioned, that in terms of equality, that's another constitutional prerogative that should have been thought about before this immunity was granted. Just your view also on that, what other constitutional rights do you believe are violated by granting this immunity?
Well, the most important one is that of bodily integrity and to be protected from all forms of violence, which the state has a duty to and an obligation to fulfill. And it didn't do that in this matter. And furthermore, apart from our constitutional obligations, South Africa has ratified significant international treaties, covenants, and declarations which are very clear about a state party's duty to protect and to obtain redress on behalf of victims of violence, such as Ms. Engels. And we believe that that combined with South Africa's own domestic policy, for example, the platform for action, on behalf of women who encounter violence. These are important policies that our different state mechanisms and bodies and politicians stand on many platforms and speak to, but action needs to be consistent with that policy to give substance to the mission of our client, the Commission on Gender Equality. We cannot have state entities and politicians and ministers acting in a manner that contradicts what is in essence an obligation that they carry in terms of the Constitution, because that is a waste of resources. It's actually a violation of citizens' rights, and the state is not fulfilling its duty then to protect women and vulnerable women who are victims of violence.
Thank you so much, Ms. Samuels.